Evangeline was pregnant with his child, and I knew very well that she was angling to put that kid on the throne. If I expressed even the smallest iota of interest in taking Lucifer's offer, she would set 1,000 assassins upon me, regardless of what Lucifer might want. No, embroiling myself further in Lucifer's machinations was definitely not at the top of my to-do list. I pulled on a pair of jeans I couldn't button. The taut roundness of my lower belly protruded over the fly. I pushed a rubber band through the buttonhole, looped it, and wrapped the other end around the button to keep the pants from sliding down. A long, baggy cub sweatshirt completed this uber-stylish look. I shoved my slippers on and padded out of the room. In the kitchen, my Uncle Daharan was making pancakes and bacon in large quantities and placing them on covered platters I didn't even know I owned. He's not your garden variety uncle. He's an ancient being, one of Lucifer's 3 brothers, and he spends at least part of his time in dragon form. For the moment, he was living in the apartment downstairs. Locks didn't keep him out, and he came and went freely between my place and his. Somehow I couldn't be irritated about this. There was some quality about Daharan that made me trust him, trust that he would do me no harm. Beazle wasn't so sure, as he tended not to trust anyone so closely related to Lucifer. But as I entered the kitchen, I noticed his mistrust of Daharan did not extend to disdain of his cooking. Beazle was perched on the counter next to the platters, filching as much bacon as he could while Daharan's back was turned. The dogs trotted ahead of me down the hall and stopped before the front door while I paused in the kitchen. "That's a whole lot of breakfast for 3 people and a gargoyle," I remarked.
"You're eating for 2,
Beazle said before Daharan could answer. "And you're eating for 5, I said. Daharan ignored the byplay. "We will be having guests this morning." "What guests?" I asked warily. The last thing I wanted was for one of Daharan's brothers to show up. Alarion terrified me. Lucifer infuriated me. And Puck? Well, when I thought of the way Puck had manipulated me into destroying one of the oldest creatures in the universe for his own personal gain, those shadows on my heart threatened to overtake me. I truly thought I could beat Puck bloody with a crowbar, and it wouldn't bother me in the least. Of course, when I had thoughts like that, I knew that the darkness was spreading inside me like a cancer. I wasn't sure if there was anything I could do to stop it. "You will see when they arrive," Daharan said. I'd almost forgotten I'd asked a question, so caught up was I in thoughts of vengeance on Puck. "Did you invite someone?" I asked. "No," Daharan said mildly, but with the finality that let me know he wasn't going to tell me anything more. Lucifer and all of his brothers could see aspects of the future. Daharan was able to see with the most clarity. And someone was coming, someone whose arrival Daharan had foreseen, but he didn't want to share with me for some reason. I shrugged and went to the waiting dogs, who panted in anticipation. As soon as I opened the front door, they crowded out in a rush, jumping all over one another in their eagerness to leave. They thundered down the steps ahead of me, whining when they reached the closed door at the bottom of the stairs. I trudged slowly after them. I might be imbued with some of the strongest magic in the universe, but I was an ungainly waddler just like every other pregnant woman there ever was. I finally made it to the bottom and opened the door. The dogs created another bottleneck in the foyer, where a final door, this one clear glass, made the first threshold between me and mine and anything nasty that might come knocking. I managed to herd the dogs to one side so I could get the door open. They ran down the front porch steps and out to the sidewalk, terrifying a nanny walking a couple of babies in a double stroller. The former retrievers looked like oversized black mastiffs, and while I was pretty sure they wouldn't attack an innocent human being, they definitely looked intimidating. She gave me a look like she wanted to chastise me for defying Chicago's leash law, but then gave the dogs a second glance and obviously thought better of it. She hurried down the street with the kids, eager to get away. I tried to keep lock, stock, and barrel on leashes, but they would weave in and out and get tangled up, and finally I threw up my hands. They would do what I said, mostly, so why bother with leashes? The dogs ran in 3 different directions to do their business. They each had a preferred spot staked out. I monitored them from the sidewalk in front of my house, wondering idly why supernatural creatures made of darkness and bearing the power to destroy souls needed a crap on the neighbor's lawn in the first place. Was it because I expected dogs to do such things? The retrievers had become more dog-like as I considered them so. They were connected to me in a way I didn't fully understand.